Thank you very much for joining us. This coming Tuesday is a pivotal moment for the Massachusetts Republican Party when the state committee is scheduled to meet to elect its party chairman for the next 2 years. Incumbent Chairman Jim Lyons, who did not respond to our invitation to join us for this conversation, has presided over a sharp decline in the party's standing since taking over as chairman in 2019. There have been losses at both the statewide and legislative level, and Tuesday's vote takes place amid reports of tens of thousands in unpaid bills owed by the party and accusations of illegal activity by Lyons. Here to talk about that and the future of the Mass GOP is Anthony Amore, the party's nominee for Secretary of State in 2018 and auditor last year. Anthony, welcome. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me, John.
Appreciate you coming in. Sorry Mr. Lyons couldn't join us, but since he's never agreed to come on here, that doesn't surprise me. So, first of all, Anthony, Republicans account for less than 10% of voter registration in the state. That's approaching fringe party status. Why should our viewers, most of whom are not Republicans, give a darn about the future of a party that is so small and desiccated?
Well, first, I'd say it's less than 9% now, thanks to the work of Chairman Lyons, I would say. I think it's important to have an opposition party to, you know, I don't think Massachusetts will ever be red, right? I don't think anybody would disagree with that. It's important to have checks and balances. It's important to have some pushback. Like when you look at the ballot initiative elections in the last cycle, they could have been closer if there was a more robust Republican Party. I think people are surprised at how close they finished despite the money disparity. So I think that's just one example. But when you look at Beacon Hill and you think we have no Republican power at all, nothing there to help give a counterbalance to proposals from one party. I don't think it serves democracy really well to have one party completely sweeping the entire state and running the show.
What's gone wrong with the party, and would just removing Lyons fix it?
I think that's the most important first step. We need somebody who can at least try to unify the party. I mean, so you mentioned, I mentioned actually we're under 9%, and that 9% is fractured. So when you talk about approaching fringe, there's a fringe of that fringe that's very vocal, very vicious, and is only concerned with hard right ideology. And I don't know that that we can continue down that path. So we need somebody that's going to come in and say, listen, I can raise money, I can bring people back to the party. You know, both parties are losing membership to the middle. But I do believe there are people that would come back to the party if it was a legitimate party. But as it stands right now, we have dwindling funds. We have $35,000, if that, in the account. We have 8.7% of the electorate, and we have no wins on Beacon Hill. So we have to change.
Do you have a horse in this vote on Tuesday night for party chairman? There were multiple candidates.
Yeah, Amy Carnevale. She, in fact, you mentioned I ran statewide twice before. She nominated me both times. I hold her in very high regard. She's a respectable person with great experience. She went to George Washington University, interned at the White House, is a mom, commutes back and forth to Washington to work. She's a serious person who can do well.